What's going on, guys? Pete here from Clinic Mastery, and today we're talking about setting yourself up for a fantastic January in your clinic. And a key part of this we're going to be talking through is rebooking. Now, if you haven't already, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It helps us to help more people and to have a bigger impact. Thank you so much, as always. Now, let's jump into this one for today. January. A lot of clinic owners fear January, and January can either be a real great springboard to the year, or it can be a really challenging and stressful time. Now, different clinics are going to navigate this differently. If you're in peds, you're going to be navigating this very much from the school holidays perspective. If you're a musculoskeletal clinic, you're going to be looking at more from new year, new me, the rebooking from December. And that's the angle that we're really going to take today and understand that. So let's dive into it. What you'll find is that clinics that really focus on the treatment plan, the management plan through December, and making sure that it continues through the end of December into January, they're the clinics that find that they have a very successful, that springboard January, where it's a great start to the year, move into February and March quite strong. So what do we need to do in order to do this effectively? What I would do to start with is I would be sitting down with the team around the end of November, start of December, and having a bit of a team meeting talking about what we're expecting to happen in December, what happens at the end of December leading into the start of January, and how we want to actually structure things. Now, a key way that I would talk through this with my team is that I'd be sitting down and I'd be going through, all right, what we want to make sure is that everyone is getting the same level of care, the same level of treatment, whether there's holidays or not. Now, people may be going away. They may have more time at work. They may have less time at work. Everyone's going to be in a slightly different scenario here. But what we do know is that we want to give people great client care. Okay. That's what we want to do. So when we have a management plan or a treatment plan, we want to make sure that we're sticking to that. Now, let's say that someone comes in on the 20th of December and we're looking for our next session to rebook them and they say, hey, no, I'm going to be away for 7 days. Do we A, say, no worries, give us a call when you're back, or B, say, no worries, let's get you booked in for when you're back? Okay, it's obviously B, right? But this is where a lot of young clinicians, especially, will kind of fall off. They'll say, oh, no worries, give us a call in the new year, give us a call when you're back, whatever it may be. But what we want to make sure is that everyone is booked in according to the treatment plan. Now, this may be stretched out, but they do need that next booking in so that we're ready to go, so we can continue on helping these people to get out of pain, to achieve their goals, whatever it may be. Now, we would have a really strong focus on this because this is where we can drop off as clinicians with the see how you go, give us a call in the new year, etc. And we would have a bit of a list for our clinicians at the end of each week to say, hey, these people were not discharged, so we didn't have a discharge note there, but they're not rebooked in. Just give us a little explanation around each of these, or just give them a call and make sure that we have that next session booked in. Often it's not done on purpose. It's just something that happens because you might be in a rush. There's a lot going on, or it was hard to find when that next session should go. So we would just work with the clinicians to make sure that that does happen. Because when you go into January and January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever it is, when you kick back at work, and you're looking at that diary and you have everyone who was in December who was meant to be booked in January is booked in, January is often a very strong month. You don't necessarily have to be going out and running all these marketing campaigns, specials, whatever it is. You're good to go from the start. So that's the big focus that I would have. Now, as a clinic owner, something that I would look at for December, and honestly, I would do this every month if I was you, is then going, well, how do we measure the effectiveness of what we're doing? Typically, you might say that December is a month where it's hard from a cash flow or revenue perspective. And for a lot of clinics, that's just because they have a closure. So they'll close from call it the 23rd, 24th through until sometime in January. So they might have a week close. Not everyone. Some will operate with skeleton staff. Some will operate almost full, but it's going to be different depending on the clinic you're in. But I'd say a lot of clinics do have a bit of a closure or skeleton staff during that time. So what we would look at, and what I'd encourage you to look at here, is going, well, how do we actually judge a month? Do we judge it on the total revenue produced per the entire month? Or could we do it a more, I would say, effective way of looking at what is the revenue per trading day? So if we look at December and let's say we had typically 21, 22 trading days in a month. In December, you may only have 16 or 17, dependent, okay? Just throwing some numbers out there. You might have 16 or 17. And if you were to generate, let's say, $100,000 revenue in 15 days, let's just do some little sums on that one. Here's one I didn't prepare earlier. 100,000 divided by 15. You can see that's 6,666 per trading day. Now, if you normally did 130,000 in, let's say, 22 trading days, that's 5,909. So what you might look at there is that whilst you made less revenue for the month, you were actually more utilized and more effective at generating revenue per trading day that you had. Okay, now that's just a wild example. It's not real numbers there, but that could be something that you track year round, but especially when you're looking at those months like December, January, April, when Easter is, those are the times to be actually tracking revenue per trading day, because it's going to give you a reasonable metric to understand, even though the month looks smaller, how well did we perform? What would we change for next time? How would we do this better next year? So I hope that's helped. We've talked through a little bit through the importance of making sure everyone's rebooked according to their management plan moving into January, and also how we can track and understand the effectiveness of the things that we're implementing. All right, my friends, I hope this helps. Please share this with someone who you think it could help too, and I'll see you in the next video.